What's up, everybody? It is the Best Bot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with another video. And today we're talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro, and here's my initial impressions after spending at least 30 some odd hours with the console, man. So we're going to talk about unboxing impressions. We're going to talk about the gameplay, and we're going to talk about whether is this truly a generational leap, and should you spend your hard-earned dollars on this thing. Let's get into it. So I've got the PlayStation 5 Pro day one launch. Now, obviously, I got this through means of trading in my PS5, my Xbox Elite controller, my Nintendo Switch, some games, a bunch of other stuff to minimize that cost to next to nothing. I was able to walk away with just a PlayStation 5 Pro, no accessories, no stand, no $80 disc drive. So it's just a PlayStation 5 Pro, and it comes with a DualSense, right? So I did a live stream of my unboxing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It is on the channel. Just to give you a quick summary of what I think of the unboxing experience. Honestly, the unboxing experience is mediocre, just like the PS5 was. This is not a dig. Everybody knows the PS5 was packaged very cheaply. Unfortunately, they did not upgrade the PS5 Pro packaging. You're still getting the the McDonald's cup holder material that's holding the cover on the PlayStation 5 Pro. The thing is the PS5 Pro is a luxury console or a premium console, so the experience from open to like plug-in should kind of feel premium, and you don't get that with the packaging. Also, you do get a standard DualSense. It would have been nice for $700 for them to, package in a DualSense Edge. I think that is really giving like a pro gamer or a luxury or a high-end gaming experience. If they did that, I think, people will get more out of the value. The disc drive obviously being $80, not being a part of this, not having a stand. They give you these plastic clips because if you want to, you can't lay this console horizontal without these plastic clips. So they give you these two pieces of plastic. There's two of these that they give you so you can lay the console on the side. Right now, mine's just standing up without a stand. So that I think is all kind of really hurt the experience and kind of make this a hard buy. But when you put everything together, the $700 console, the $80 for the disc drive, I think the $30 for the stand, and then you tack on taxes, you're looking at upwards of $950 for the console. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? So once you get past the mediocre unboxing, the so-so stuff that you get, regular DualSense, you don't get a stand, you don't get a disc drive. We obviously, you would know that going into the buying the console. So that's kind of shame on you at that point, at this day and age. But it's good to put the information out there because some people don't know. The gameplay experience is really the most important thing, right? When you're watching, frame rate comparisons, and you're watching Digital Foundry, you're watching Open Surprise, you're watching all these other people who are doing graphics comparisons and frame rate tests and stuff like that. All that stuff is impressive, and some of it is like, some may be drastic, some not. A lot is not, actually. But when you get that experience, when you're playing it, on your monitor, see, I play on monitors, or if you're playing on your big screen TV, 4K, you're not playing, three different PlayStations. You're not playing with the PS5 Pro, a PlayStation 5, and an Xbox, or you're playing what's on your PlayStation 5 Pro. And my thing is on this, to me, in my opinion, so far, I have not had a wow moment. I have not had that experience where it's like, oh, this is next level. I say that because I've had that experience just a couple years ago when the PlayStation 5 launched, when the Xbox Series X and even S launched, when the Xbox One X launched, when the PS4 Pro launched. I feel like when those consoles came out, from the PS4 to PS4 Pro, I feel like there was a demonstrable difference. You could see I didn't need two screens. I didn't need Digital Foundry. I didn't need to look at two screens or anything like that. But all right, which one is which? The differences was actually just obvious. Same with the Xbox One X. When you went from Xbox One settings to running games at 4K, it was obvious. And then with the launch of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, it became obvious because the loading was insane. The activity cards, quick resume, games running at 60 FPS, games running at 120 FPS. We're talking about people who are used to playing games at 30 and sometimes sub 30 at 900p, at 1080p, at dynamic 1080p. Like that's what we were accustomed to. So getting the Series X and the PS5 and even the Series S was an actual upgrade that I did not need to see comparisons to know that I was getting an upgrade. The first thing I've done was play games that I relatively remember. So I've downloaded Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, Dead Island 2, Ratchet and Clank. Last was part 1, but I haven't touched any of that yet. I'm going to tell you, for all the games I played, the biggest difference is probably somewhere. I think Ratchet and Clank, the performance, ray tracing, looks better. I feel like I'm playing. I feel like there's an improvement in Ratchet and Clank. The thing is, Ratchet and Clank never looked bad, no matter how you played it. I refuse to play it at 30 FPS. So whatever it looked at 30 FPS, I didn't experience it because I didn't play at 30 FPS. I played at performance regular and then performance ray tracing when they added performance ray tracing. PS5 Pro, I'm playing with performance ray tracing. And my monitors are always set. My console is always set to 120 hertz. So I'm not looking, if I'm getting a lock 60, I'm playing above 60 in Ratchet and Clank, Insomniac's Wizards. It does run well. It looks good. Ratchet and Clank is definitely a good title to play on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. Now this is a bit of a cheat. I didn't play the remaster on my base PS5. I've only played Horizon Zero Dawn on a PS4 Pro and in a PS5. Did I play a little bit of Zero Dawn? Probably not. No. So only PS4 Pro have I played Horizon Zero Dawn. And we know that was checkerboarded. I think 1800p, 30 FPS experience. Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster obviously is a next generation upgrade. It looks like Horizon Forbidden West. But it's Horizon Forbidden West skin on Horizon Zero Dawn. It looks good, play well. Playing this on a Pro, I'm playing at 120 hertz. The frame rate in the performance mode, there's a 30 FPS mode. There is a balance mode, which is I think at like 40 FPS. And then there's their performance mode when you're playing on 120 hertz. The game in its performance mode, I've gotten so far in all the time that I played so far is between 55 to 65 FPS on Horizon Zero Dawn. Nothing less, nothing higher in the performance mode. Game looks great. It's beautiful. I don't know. But the thing is that I don't know if that game, I'm almost certain that game has to run just as good or looks just as good on a base PlayStation 5. So that's more credit to Guerrilla and the game already looking good. It performs well on the PlayStation 5 Pro, but I have to safely assume it performs well on the PlayStation 5, just like Horizon Forbidden West performed well on a PS5. It looked well on a PS5. Spider-Man 2, I didn't notice much of a difference, and I'm playing obviously with the updated ray tracing features at a higher frame rate. And I had my experience with Spider-Man on PlayStation 5 was which was more recent. I do not feel like I'm playing anything new. I don't think it looks any better. I don't think it looks any worse. Spider-Man, in my opinion, looks great, but from my position, I don't think it doesn't feel like some sort of vast improvement. I don't see where I got the improvement in frame rate, and I don't see clearly where I got the improvement in visuals. I've obviously adjusted different settings to see what it looks like ray tracing, but the original Spider-Man had ray tracing in its quality mode. So it's the same thing here. Those features get reduced to a degree when you up the performance, but the game, to me, in my opinion, looks no better or no worse than the original PlayStation 5 version that came out last year. Dead Island 2 just got a PlayStation 5 Pro update. The game already targeted 60 FPS. I believe it was targeting 4K or some dynamic resolution. It looks like it's doing the same thing. It doesn't run above 60 FPS. There's actually no toggle for performance or quality mode, so it looks like they improved the visuals a tad bit, and that it's a stable 60 because I did not get a drop on Dead Island 2. But I will say I booted up Dead Island 2 on my PC 4070, and I was playing probably at maybe the same settings or the setting. Actually, the settings above PS5, and I was getting like 140 FPS. And the quality, it doesn't quite match PC yet, in my opinion. Maybe I have to play them like in like for like scenarios, because I played the PlayStation 5 Pro version up until the point I got to where I'm at on a PC, and obviously the shadow quality isn't up there yet. It's a Dead Island 2 is one of my favorite games. I'm gonna try to go for the platinum on PlayStation 5, and I'm gonna go for the 100% completion on the PC, as I got the 100% completion on Xbox. It's a good game, whatever, but the PlayStation 5 Pro, the upgrade doesn't really, I don't see it. I don't know what it's doing. The game doesn't really do ray tracing. And if it is, it's not doing like any sort of special ray tracing because I don't see it. The Horizon Forbidden West, I always thought the game looked good. Now you do get a better looking game, especially in performance mode. You get that it's not as noisy, but they fixed this during the PlayStation 5 game, but it only gets better with the PlayStation 5 and the PS5 Pro. So when I look at it, when I look at the games that I played in the experience, the thing is that I'm not saying that the stuff isn't good. The PlayStation 5 Pro is doing its job. The problem for me is that the difference isn't what it was when I went from PS4 to PS4 Pro. The difference isn't what it was when I went from PS4 Pro to PlayStation 5. The difference is minimum to me, and you kind of have to really look at Digital Foundry and stuff to see, all right, what's the biggest deal? And that's disappointing to me because I don't have the out of box like plug and play, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? I mean, sure, I turn on my frame rate counter and stuff like that on my monitors to see how much frames I'm getting, but at the end of the day, I was doing that in 2020 and 2021 with the PS5 and Series X, and I was doing that because we were finally getting higher frames than what we were used to. So it's not like the PlayStation 5 Pro is achieving frame rates that the PlayStation 5 couldn't. The games have not, the tech in the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, I feel like games still look relatively good, and we're getting good frame rates that it doesn't warrant the upgrade. So honestly, I'm telling you guys, if I would have bought this for $700, like truly $700, and I was like, hey, and I just bought it outright, I think I would have returned it by now, or I would have tried to sell it, because I don't think it's worth the upgrade today. I think maybe in 2 or 3 years, once we get a little bit later into the PlayStation 5's life cycle, maybe the price comes down of the PS5 Pro. I think the PS5 Pro is worth it for like $500, $450 maybe. I think it's worth it in that case. It's worth eventually getting, not worth something jumping onto immediately, because if you're going from a PlayStation 5, and I must say this, if you're going from a PlayStation 5 to a PS5 Pro, it's not worth it. The upgrades aren't obvious enough. It's not obvious enough. If you're going from a PS4 Pro to a PS5 Pro, obviously, go ahead. The money's it's a lot of money, but you will see, oh, well, yeah, this is amazing. That's what I'm gonna say. If you're going from a PS4 Pro to a PS5 Pro, is going to be a dramatic difference. If you're going from a PS5 to a PS5 Pro, not much of a difference. And the other thing about the PS5 Pro that I find myself not liking too much is that it doesn't respect backwards compatibility to the degree that I hope it would. And I don't say that to be a knock on it. It's like they have like this little thing where you could enhance PS4 games. Just go by going into the settings. They improve the image quality. But it's not doing anything. Actually, I think it's doing less than what the Xbox version of this tool is doing. It's not increasing the resolution. It's like a sharpening filter. So things slightly improve. There is no automatic FPS upgrade or FPS boost. And in some cases, games don't even fully take advantage of the full power that the PS5 Pro has, because we're playing games like there's games like Hogwarts Legacy, freaking like Elden Ring, and all these other games that have like these frame rates where the frame rate isn't drastically changing. When you considering the power delta, you would think the frame rate would at least improve, or they could drive into that extra power. It's not doing that. Same thing with like certain games. I feel like these games are still locked into their PS4 modes, and then some of the games that are just badly or poorly optimized on the PS5 are still poorly optimized for the PS5 Pro. Yeah, there's probably going to be improvements in the future, and I think the PSSR is, which is it really is the selling factor for the PlayStation 5, honestly, is his upscaling abilities. But personally for me, I didn't buy the PS5 Pro because I want a game at 8K. I don't think 8K is not, I'm not buying an 8K TV anytime soon. I'm not really interested in that. I got the PlayStation 5 Pro because if I'm going to have a PlayStation 5, I'm going to have the better version. The issue is, and I'm just speaking for me as playing it, I don't see a difference. I don't see a significant difference. There's some differences that, once could point out. We've been playing games for so long, but it's not significant difference. So when it comes to recommending it, I can't recommend it to anyone who currently has a PS5, because when I can go grab my other PlayStation, my actual PlayStation 5, plug it in, play the same games, and not feel like I'm lost or gained anything. I don't think we're there yet. And so if you like the newest stuff, obviously it's a good thing to have. And if you're still playing on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro, yeah, go ahead and get the PS5 Pro, especially if you can afford it. But me personally, again, if I would have bought the PlayStation 5 Pro at $700, out of pocket $700, I probably would have returned it by now. Not because it's a bad console, not because it's doing anything wrong. It's because it's overly expensive and the upgrades aren't significant enough to warrant the purchase today. Again, with time, with prices, if prices go down in the future, yeah, it becomes a worthy option. Today, it is not, and that's why I don't recommend it. And I don't think there's there's not any game coming out in the future that I have to play it on a PlayStation 5 Pro. I don't think the differences between PS5, PS5 Pro, Xbox Series S are strong enough. And when they are at its strongest, those games are limited to 30 FPS. And PlayStation 5's strongest capability right now is upscaling and ray tracing, and which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good, but I don't play at 30 FPS, so I'm never going to play a lot of these games quality modes or their visual modes that are ramping up ray tracing. I'm never going to play those modes unless the game is just capped at 30 FPS, and that's the only way I got to play it. So I'm always going to play in this performance mode, and PlayStation 5 unfortunately has not gotten rid of that compromise. We're still going to be choosing between quality and performance. It's just that this time around, performance mode does look better in most cases, and I have to give them that. And the reason why I say that, it looks better in terms of you're getting quality mode at 60 FPS in some games so far, and it's most of the games you're getting that is PlayStation first party games. Third party games, good luck at what they're able to do. Hopefully they're able to fully extract it. PlayStation, like Insomniac, the people at Gorilla, they've they done masterful work, but based off how the sample size of games I'm seeing, it doesn't look like it's going to be that transformative, and that's why I couldn't recommend it. But I mean, I'm not getting rid of mine. It's going to be the best place for consoles by default. But I'm fine. I feel like I'm in a good situation in terms of, console gaming space, PC gaming. The PlayStation 5, like I said, the Pro is a decent console. It is achieving what it's set out to do. I just don't think for some people you're going to realize it, especially if you're playing a PlayStation 5 currently, because those games already look good and we're already getting 60 FPS. And because most games are 60 FPS. The PlayStation 5 Pro, to me, in my opinion, isn't doing that much to improve the experience that we have right now. Maybe in the next couple years, maybe games will get worse and they'll start looking uglier because they need more tech, more power, and the PlayStation 5 Pro will maybe thrive a little bit better. In that case, that's yet to be seen. We'll see. But that's all I got for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video. It's Kid Smooth. Thank you for watching. I know this is long-winded and I took a lot of your time, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.